What's good, my people? What's good, my people? It's your boy, TBT, aka the Brainless Trader, and I am actually back. I am back. Um, I've been gone for a little while, and I wanted to make a video. I wanted to make a video. I don't know, just to kind of explain where I've been at, and also talk about where we're going. So, what we finna talk about is basically just what I've been doing the last few months is really just focusing on me, focusing on understanding where I'm at as a trader. And I feel like this is a very important part of many traders' lives, many traders, um, you know, time trading, because we all have a moment in our trading in the beginning, at least, where sometimes you got to be real with yourself and say, okay, am I where I want to be yet? Am I there yet? Am I at the point where I can be doing XYZ things, right? So just recapping, back in, the majority of last year, any of you all that subscribed and became a member of the Brainless Trading community, um, we began making videos around, I think, around this time last year. And I think the motivation behind it was just that I've always wanted to be on YouTube and speak, and just with my knowledge about forex, I feel like it was time for me to take that next step to kind of speak to people and kind of communicate and just have a community with you all and kind of talk forex and all of us grow and succeed together. Now, in trying to grow and succeed together, I feel like it's my responsibility. If I'm going to be the one out here in front of y'all, I felt like at the time it was my responsibility to actually show and prove that I could do what I say I can do, which is make money in the forex market, right? So I was on that route to doing so until, like we talked about in some previous videos, it didn't happen the way I wanted it to, as far as me achieving that FTMO account. So after that FTMO account was not achieved, what I did was I went back into the lab, back into the study. I was posting a few videos here and there, but I was posting less and focusing more on just understanding myself and what went wrong, my psychology, and understanding, what I need to do to be better, and then focusing on actually being better and taking it to the next level, right? So I took some time, probably after my last post in October, I think, from October to basically now, to like rest. Like, I was still in the charts, I was still studying, but I needed to rest from like the YouTube posting, because I was getting, you know, a lot of views at first, a lot of views in the middle, and then towards the end in October, I was like, this is not really worth me continuing to do so much editing in the background to post. And I was really focusing on the views and all that aspect of it. So me even talking about that, I was focused on everything else except for what I was supposed to be focused on, which is the market, right? Like, my first and foremost thing is to use forex trading, indices trading, to be able to free myself from where I'm at right now. Where am I at? I'm at the job. I got a tie on. I got meetings today. I got things to do, and I'm talking to y'all, because I care about this stuff. And so I had to refocus my brain on where am I supposed to be focusing on? What am I supposed to be doing? Um, and so I went back into the lab, into the study, and I wanted to achieve getting funded before coming back. But I don't feel like at this point, monetarily, with my job and taking care of my family, I'm not at the point where I have enough money to just throw at my challenges the way that I really want to, because I have other priorities. And so that's what I'm doing now, is saving up my money to be able to, when the markets are a little bit better. I guess it kind of happened properly, because the markets haven't been, I mean, the people have been making money, don't get me wrong, but they have not been as easy to execute in as they were this time last year. Um, and so, in understanding that and trying a challenge and even failing a challenge earlier, between, I guess, March and April, one thing that I really learned was that I need, number one, time. Me being younger in the like ICT mentorship like timeline, where I did my mentorship 2021, and so now 2022 is my year where I was really like implementing everything that I learned. You could say that I'm if you take me from base level, I restarted my forex trading career in 2021, right? So I'm really 2 years into a legitimate trading career, as in trading one strategy. I did know about forex. I've known about forex since 2019, right? But I was trading, just supporting resistance, and the basic principles that any trader learns when they get inducted into trading via IML, right? So like my trading strategies, my risk management, like so many of the things that I'm practicing and doing now were not in place for me to even be able to be successful. And within 1 year of learning ICT's concepts, I was able to literally pass the first half of the FTMO challenge, and then I realized my psychology wasn't where it needed to be because I had the ability to pass the verification. And then I got all in here, I got on Twitter, I got on social media talking about what I was going to do instead of just focusing and doing it, right? So, you know, the reality of it all set in, and that's why I had to take some time for myself and just try to refocus. Now I'm back because I'm like, man, how long can I stay away? I can't stay away from my community too long. You know what I'm saying? I can't stay away from y'all too long. So I really just like, I love creating videos. I love being on here and like, just learning and executing in the market. And showing what I've been learning and showing my learnings and sharing them with y'all and learning from y'all. What y'all comment and everything that y'all say, I'm learning from y'all too. I will forever be a student. That's one thing I did take from IML. And even now, like if any of y'all are watching ICT's live videos, I am right there with you. I'm watching because there's always time to learn. So I am, back because I want to use this not as a way for me to get famous, but I want to use YouTube as a way to focus my efforts to be able to put myself in an area where I will be judged by my actions and by the work ethic that I'm putting in. Like when I ran track and field at the collegiate level, when you get into that track and you're in front of all those fans, like what you did, the work that you put in is going to show, right? So it's always like that nervousness, that arena for you to compete in, that if you wasn't practicing right, it wasn't going to show up in the race or in the jump, right? So this is what that is for me. YouTube is my arena, right? It's what motivates me to actually do what I'm going to do, what I need to do by my studies, by executing in the market, because I don't want to post nothing that doesn't show my ineptness and my ability to trade. Now I will post my mistakes because everyone makes mistakes. Even ICT has traded live and not got it right every time, right? This is not a this is not a business where we're all going to be right 100% of the time. But I think that, similar to if you look at like the whole, if you watch basketball, you look at the Grizzlies versus the Lakers. They had the guy Dylan Brooks that he was talking trash to LeBron in the beginning, but then in the end, when he got that 40 ball put on him, that he didn't talk, right? So I don't want to be the person that when it goes wrong, I'm not still here communicating. Like I still got to come in, I still got to do the interview, I still got to come in front of y'all and just like talk to y'all about what happened. So that's basically what I wanted this video to be about. And then going forward, I think that what you can expect from my channel is just more consistent posting. I don't want to focus on the views. I don't want to focus on, like I said, getting famous trading, because I don't even want to talk about how much money I am making once I finally start making money in forex trading. I think the more important thing for me is proof of concept. Like ICT, only the one time did he show that he can take an account from 40K to 80K. The rest of his videos are just proof of concept, just talking about what works and what doesn't work. And that's what I would like to do. I will, when I do finally get funded, I will share that with y'all, and I will share the amount of money to which I am funded. But that will be the furthest extent of any financial talk, because I want our talks to be focused on proof of concept, focused on executing in the market. Whether you're trading ICT, whether you're trading, support and resistance, whether you're trading supply and demand, there's concepts that we all can use that are common to all of us: risk management, psychology. Like these things are things that we can all share. Like even if we don't trade the same, we are all people who have to use similar concepts to be successful in this business, right? So so yeah, you see me in the work, guide. I'm back. We're gonna be posting a little bit more consistently. I just hope to post at least, every week. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not going to say how many times. On my banner on YouTube, it says every week. So I gotta try to start being a man of my word and say, hey, I'm posting every week. I might at least come on here and do a live. If we don't even do the charts, I'm gonna come on here and do, 10 to 15 minutes like this and just give y'all some real from the heart, love. So with that said, we're gonna hop into the next portion of the show where we just look at the charts, and I'm just gonna um, you know, use this opportunity for me to talk out loud about what I'm seeing. And yeah, there we go. So hopefully y'all can see the trading hub here. Um, what we're about to do is look at top down from DXY to gold, because right now I'm trading DXY, GPB, USD, GPB, JPY, and gold. So here, since September, we've kind of seen that shift in. If you were really looking on the 4 hour, you could kind of dice up what was a breaker. Y'all know that I love the breaker format and thought process. So if we were to zoom in here, um, you could see we had a high. You know what? I don't want to go from here. I say high, low, higher, high. And then this lowest down close candle here would be our breaker. You could use the consecutive candles as your entire zone, but you could probably just stick to these, either the last two or the last one. I'll go with the last two. Um, so if we're looking at it, oh, I already had it. There you go. Yeah, let's take that off. So this is a down close candle on the 4 hour. Oh, so I did high, low, higher, high. Okay, that makes sense. I use this lowest down close candle, and you can see that, price did not break above, it didn't close above the breaker zone. And then if you're looking at mean threshold or consequential encroachment, which is just like the fib 50% between the top and the bottom of the breaker range, price did not go above that as well. So at that point in time, I knew that, okay, we're probably going to be looking sell side, but you still have to be confirmed. And so you're kind of seeing structure break to the downside, and we're going after those relative equal lows, right? So that is what we had way back in October. And even then, at the time I was like, I wish I had some money to put into some more challenges, because I really just hadn't planned on needing it. I planned on succeeding in that one challenge. So it would have been nice to be able to take advantage of some of these moves moving into like December. But even you see, from November to February, that range is now just now being broken, right? If we're just looking at, if we take these off the chart, November 22nd to February 1st, this range right here, price is literally still trading within it, right? So that's where we've been at. It's May now, guys. So, with all the stuff that's going on in the world, we are still trading within, you know, a very small range in comparison to, what should be traded in within 5 months of data. So let's just compare, what this is November. So basically December, January, February, March, April, May. That's 6 months. So if we just look from July, right, to December, look how much further price has gone in the last 6 months of last year, right, as compared to the last 6 months, right? So all the things that are happening in the world are affecting the charts. So that is why in other pairs you see similar, congestion in the market, right? Let's look at the daily. Um, NGPB, JPY, GU, sorry, GU, GBP, USD. We just now broken out of this zone, which was a zone that was held for about 2 months. And so now with us breaking out of this zone, one thing that I was looking at was looking to the upside for buy side liquidity here, and even a daily fair value gap. But I'm not 100% convinced that that's where we're going. If the DXY, which that's what I was going to say, the DXY does look to be majorly bearish, just waiting on signals from the market. We got tons of fair value gaps and sell side liquidity to the downside. With the geopolitical situation, them trying to create the central bank digital currencies and all that, I do believe that the U.S. dollar, itself will likely decrease. I think that is something that we could see. So if we're decreasing in the DXY, then you're likely going to see a lot of increase in foreign markets, right? Gold, GJGU, GBP, the GBP is going to be getting stronger as the DXY is getting weaker. Um, Now, the GBP is also implementing, central bank digital currency as well. So we'd have to watch because the situation is going to affect all currency markets. Anything that's cash, the central bank digital currency is going to affect it, right? So we just got to kind of watch and see how the market reacts to all that. But if I had to bet on anything, I would be focused on foreign currency bullish and um, the DXY bearish. And if you are familiar with ICT's seasonal tendencies, if you have bought the MRCI documents that show you the aggregations of what the market typically does in all the forex pairs and the indices, then you would know that this is currently in the month of May, the dollar typically is going down. May to June, the dollar is typically going down, and the GBP is typically on its way up, right? So if we know that's the case, and we know that that matches our current technicals, and ICT talks about, if the seasonal tendencies match the current technicals in the market, then you have more confirmation on what you should be doing next. Just have to be patient and wait on price to give you those simple signals, and easy setups instead of trying to operate in this. This is very difficult to operate in. It's a zone that's not even, how many pips, right? It's 200 pips, and price literally traded here from the end of, well, what's this? From April all month, basically. It's been trading just within this little range, this 200 pip range, right? So it's kind of difficult to, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't paying for this until I get myself funded. I'm not paying for it. But yeah, so it's just kind of one of those things like, we got to be patient and take our time and wait for the right signals in the market to give us, the easier setups. Now, GJ, I was looking at this buy side liquidity being purged, which it has been in the last couple of days. And so in terms of my demo trading, I would be patient on what GJ is going to do next because I really don't see, if we look at the weekly, okay, that's where we got to go to get to the next liquidity level. You got fair value gaps above. They're kind of far though, so I would think that you're going to have some sort of return into this area first, since you've purged this liquidity before you get anything major to the upside. But I mean, you never know. We'd have to wait and see. Um, and then with gold, I'm thinking kind of similar. I typically like to look at gold and GU as the same. GJ is separate just because the JPY is not directly linked to the USD, though it sometimes does correlate. But if I was a betting man, there's a 4-hour fair value gap here that price hasn't gone above. And so, there's sell side liquidity here, and there's more fair value gaps and sell side liquidity. I mean, we could see some sort of purge to the downside before a move up, but if the DXY continues to remain weak, then you're gonna definitely see more bullish moves out of gold. Um, and we have not purged this buy side liquidity just yet. Got close. So the fact that we haven't broken any structure to the downside, to me, would tell me that we're still bullish in gold as well. But I mean, look at the area, right? Like the last month, this is where we're trading in. The last 2 months, this is what we're trading in. So it's like it's difficult to find a easy trade as compared to like something like what this was. Like you just see larger ranges. Yeah, you got 1 or 2 days where it's kind of like backed up, but like it's easier to find trades within these because the model is setting up nice. Now, what I trade is right up here. The crux is for me just the area that is the most important for the day. So if we were going to talk about the crux, then we could like break it down to like say like um let's go like to the 2 hour and let's go here. Well, let's go to the 1 hour so we can look at the time frames. Okay, yeah. So if we came here, right? For me, number one, uh you've got a breaker low, high, lower low. So the highest up close candle would be this, right? And so if you were to draw that to the right, then you would have the ICT breaker, or as close to it as possible. I'm not going to say I always get it right, but for the most part, I do. So ICT 1 hour breaker, and you also got what activates any ICT, what activates any ICT, whatchamacallit, PD array, right? What do we have? You have to have a fair value gap. It activates the order block. It activates the what's that? Not an impulse block, but propulsion block. It activates any PD array that he talks about. So breaker is included in that. You got a fair value gap right here, right? You've also got one right there. So you typically you have two. You look to the furthest one out that's above, or if this was a reverse, we look to the second one usually. This would be my worst case scenario. You don't want the breaker to be broken. Come back down here. This price, if price is trading within above this fair value gap, or stays above this one, then you would be safe for trades. So the crux I just refer to as the most important part. This is the area that I would want to make a trade in, right? Like, so what time is this? This is 7 a.m. on that day. So, I would want to typically, if you know that this is a breaker forming and you know that it's running back, you wouldn't want to trade anything until price comes back into it. So, probably would let this day go, should let this day go. Sometimes I might take this trade knowing that it's a breaker and it's going to form, it's going to give me something. But the safest way is to let it come back and then take this trade here, the next day, knowing that, okay, you're getting higher lows. This is 11 a.m. still within the 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. Kill zone range, right? So you're matching the kill zone with the PD array with, the overall technicals that we talked about, that the DXY is going down, so gold should possibly be going up, all that stuff. This is the crux area. And then if we look at, the market maker sell or buy model, MMXM, just you could put S or B in place of the X. This will be a market maker buy model because you got the breaker, which begins the market maker buy model typically. And then you got the first entrance into the market maker buy model, which is really this whole area, right? This is the first leg. And typically the second leg is like, you could say this is first leg, you could say this is second leg, but typically the second leg would be somewhere up here. So if you have one leg, you may have like an IOFED, institutional order flow, um, institutional order flow, something, something. Don't recall what that last part is, but it's essentially just like a quick run. I don't know where we was at. It's a quick run, above the area that you was targeting. I think we was down here. Yeah, I was like, where are we? So, um, basically it's return back into a fair value gap where price doesn't go below the fair value gap and then continues up. So you kind of got first leg. You could say this is second leg. It's loose. I don't know, but that you got the breaker. That you got the fair value gap being respected. You got at least one leg, potentially two legs. IOFED completion. If you're looking to your left, you're looking for that completion of this market maker and buy model, which really would be once price gets above here. You probably take your money and you run with it, right? So that's just an example of what I've got up here. The crux is the most important piece for me, where I'm trying to enter. Market maker sell or buy model is how I'm framing my trades. I'm looking for liquidity. I'm looking for fair value gaps to target. So that's what the 4T to target. And then I'm looking at the seasonal tendencies. And I know that I'm bullish, right? So that's just something I keep in my chart so I can make sure, like, okay, I know what the heck is going on, because sometimes it can be a little bit confusing, trying to understand what the crap is going on in the market, right? So that's just a quick look, quick view at what I think is going on. I'm really trying to be patient, and I'm like I said, I'm demo trading right now. I'm saving my money up to be able to go for trades, hopefully when price is a little bit more fluid in the fall. So I'm just saving up my money to be able to do that, and God willing, finally get funded the proper way. But until then, I'm hoping to just try to come in here and just post a video, a couple videos a week, just talking about what I see in the market, and then talking about psychology, talking about some of these other things, money management, and honestly talking about training, because that's what I'm going to be doing until September is training and trying to the importance of really like getting in here and acting like you're doing it for real with your demo account, right? Like so that you can be ready when the time comes when you get your opportunity, because you get your opportunity, you may have one really good opportunity, especially you're talking about getting funded, you got the 30 days depending. And what right now, what I'm focused on is doing something where I can get funded, but not get funded and have a time that don't have a time limit, that I can just take my time and actually trade properly. You know what I'm saying? So like that's where I'm focused at now, because I've noticed with the funding opportunities that have the 30 days, there's nothing wrong with them, but you really got to be on your stuff. And if you're a learning student, and I call myself a learning student, I've only been with ICT for 2 years, right? So I would say I'm a new ICT student still. Um, but that's no excuse, because I know enough to talk to y'all about this stuff. I can execute it in the market. So that's what I'm gonna do, God willing. But you gotta be real yourself with yourself and give yourself the opportunity, right? If I can get funded and pay a little bit more for an opportunity that's going to give me 12 months to be successful with the same profit target, as opposed to an opportunity that's going to give me in the same margin to use, right? Then I'm going to take that now. Now that I've taken a million challenges, I've almost succeeded. I failed a lot of them. I've learned a lot. That's what I'm thinking about doing, because that would give me the edge and advantage to know that I don't have to rush, because that's what happens every time I take a challenge that's 30 days or 35 days. I'm taking my time, I'm waiting for my trades, and if the market's not correct and right for me to actually make money, then I have to sit on my laurels and wait until the market presents me with those situations, right? But then when it gets to that last week of that challenge, that 30 days, that's when it's like, bro, like, I'm trying to make sure that I take the money that I just spent and use it to the fullest. So that's when my psychology starts to get messed up. That's when I start to take trades that I probably shouldn't take, because I'm trying to push it to try to get me over that hump, either to just stay in the positive. Because if I'm already in the positive, I'm probably not going to take a trade. I'm just wait and then get the free redo, right? But if I am not in the positive, then that's when I'm trying to spin to get into the positive, which actually gets you into negative because you're taking trades you shouldn't take, right? So, that's what I'm thinking about. And I'm trying to train my brain now, even though it's not as motivating to not be like up for real money, not be actually, for me at least, it's not as motivating to not be trading live. I have to look at it as that. And that's why I wanted to come back to YouTube and continue to post as if I am, because when my opportunity comes, I will be ready, God willing. So that's the advice that I would give anybody who's a new trader who's looking at doing challenges and stuff. Look at challenges that are going to give you a little bit more time. They're going to give you 12 months. Pay a little bit more for those challenges. You can look into Lux Trading. You can look into the what's that? There's a group in Florida that has a trading firm. I still love TFT. I still love FTMO. Um, but look into some different options. You don't have to do what everybody else does. This is a market that's expanding. If you can get 12 months to do a challenge, then consider it. And if you're fine with doing the month-long challenge, then just make sure you're in the positive so you can get a free return. Because I'm pretty sure with my FTMO last year, I literally went from like February to July, and I was in the positive 4 months, and then the fifth month I finally passed the first part of the 100K challenge. And then after that, the markets wasn't as clear, but really my psychology wasn't as clear, because I was doing Twitter, trying to do YouTube. I was doing too much, feel me? So but I'm going to end the video because I'm about to start my work. So y'all have a good day, much love, and catch y'all next time.